Hello. So today we're going to be setting up for a Live Music is Better concert, and typically what you want is a completely clear stage. This is in the way right now, so we're going to get it off into the wings somewhere. But going to be doing some moving around. There is a snake from, like a cable snake from up there that we may drop down. We may drop one over from stage right, which is backstage over there, or we may bring it from stage left. Probably not though, because we never use that one because it's pretty crappy. So it'll either be the center or over here on stage right, which has some other mics plugged into it. First, going to try to get rid of this. There's not a whole lot of room though, so we'll see what happens. What I decided to do was we had these curtains already set at about halfway, half depth of the stage, a little bit more. But I'm going to lay out the carpets here, and we're going to try to roll with this setup tonight, and hopefully they'll be okay with that, instead of us having to move the set and curtains and everything else. We'll see what happens. We may still end up having to, but hopefully not. You will get one of these with the concert, whoever's coming in. This is the plot, their tech plot. And each one looks a little bit different, but this gives what each number is, like DIs, vocal mics, instrument mics, different stuff like that, and then their monitor setup and what they like. So you'll get one of these, and you'll know how it's kind of supposed to be set up, and then you just set it up based on this. So let's get rolling on that. All right, so we have our carpets laid out. And you get these from in the costume room. They're up on top of the big black box that's in there, and that holds all the Live Music is Better stuff, which is where I'm going to pull everything else from now. So I won't actually go back there and show you in there, because we're working in there right now, and also it's just not necessary. You'll find everything in there. I'm going to start off by pulling out a couple of bins that have XLR cables and microphones, stuff like that, and some mic stands and monitors, and get those out here and get those ready to put in. So occasionally, this is your pathway to get up to the room that has the other snake. And it doesn't really look like there's a good way to go. So you're going to go over everything to get to the back. Let me show you what that's like. So you're going to come along with me just like this. And let's see, fold up the legs on this tripod. It's falling everywhere. And you just have to make the best of a terribly dangerous situation. Okay, so you come over here. The light switch on the side, and the tripod gets stuck on literally everything that it could possibly get stuck to. Alright, then watch your head as you come up here, because it's very low at the front here. And we're gonna go almost, well, right at halfway back, where there's actually enough room to stand. Okay, let me fix the camera now. Let me put you guys back just a little bit. Okay. Alright, so just on top of that shelf there where the light is, I know there's really bad lighting right now. This is our snake here, okay? Now let me see, make sure you can see that. Yeah, you kind of can at least. And there's a cable that runs, let me see if I can, yeah. There's a cable here, and there's a beam right here. Hopefully you can see that all right. And this cable ends up running back over here as well, just out of, no, I'm sorry, that's the audio cable. But what you want to do is not drop this side over, because this is how you get it back. You want to put it actually in the middle here. Just slide it up over this beam. There's typically only one spot for it to go, but of course this time it's going to find the other slot. There's a little pipe for that to get over. And then once it's over it, you just let it go all the way down to the floor. There, it hit the floor, feed the rest of the cable over, and there you have it, alright? We'll aim this back again so you can see your way out. And that's that. Then you have to fight your way back through here. So remember earlier, that drum set was dead center. I moved that over so we could drop down our snake, which is right here. Let me go ahead and open this up. I can do some explaining. Alright? This thing wants to move all over the place today. Okay, so on this snake, we've got all these inputs, and we have the 4 outputs at the bottom. Let's see if I can clean this up a bit. There we go. So we've got 1 through 16 here, and then we've got our 4 outputs. These are going to be our monitor feeds, and these are going to be obviously the inputs for the band. On the other snake, or actually I'm sorry, it's on the board, typically channel 1 does not work, doesn't always work, so I'm going to avoid that today just in case, and we're going to go with channels 2 through 16, and then our outputs A through D, which is on the board as aux 1 through 4, which we'll take a look at that in a little bit. Okay, so here are our can't talk, our extensions, power circuits. We have more of these, but some of them are being used elsewhere, so I'm going to have to go grab one from wherever else are being stashed right now. On this side I have our monitors. Now you will note with these, let's take a look at this one right here. Okay, so here's the back of our monitor. You're going to notice here, next to the JBL on all the monitors, the JBL logo, is a number. This is number 4, which means that this is aux 4. These are set with smart audio, so Steve, before I came here, the previous guy that did this, went through the mic and did the smart audio test. You can look up what that is, SMAART, I believe, and set all of these monitors to how the room sounds, as far as their frequencies go. There's some little tweaking that we'll occasionally do, but typically not much. So don't mess with any of these as far as the signal or limit. All you have to worry about is which number this is. And we will typically set these up from left to right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sometimes that will switch, like in today's setup, that will switch a little bit, but do pay attention to which number is which, because these numbers go with the auxes on the board, and then they also correlate with the iPads that you'll see in a little bit. Now, if you're doing a concert, hopefully you know what a DI is, but if not, it's a direct input box, such as this. You have your inputs on the side, and on this is a stereo DI, so you actually have 2 inputs. You have a left and right. For stereo, it could be the same thing that goes into one if you were going to mix it in a stereo image. We're not. So this would be a 2-instrument setup where you could do an input, you could do an output here, but we just do inputs, and then on the back you have your XLR output. You have right and left on the back. Then you also have either phantom power or battery power. We do phantom power, so we don't have to worry about the battery or the hiss from that or whatever, and also don't have to worry about the battery going out on the box. So that is our DI. So when I say DI in the video, you know what I'm talking about. Now, something you will want to do before you start plugging everything in is make a little plot of what you're actually going to plug in to each of the channels. So Gretchen, this is a Gretchen Peters concert. Gretchen's mic is number 2, which is the very first one that we have on here, because again, I'm avoiding channel 1. Then we go to 3, 4 is the other mic here. Then come back here for her 5 DI, which is the acoustic guitar. 6 is the accordion. 7 and 8, we have 2 DIs for the keyboard. I'm not sure why, but that's just what they have here. And then also make note, if they do it like this, if anything that they require, like they're bringing in their own vocal mics and little things like that, and what they'll need. So just keep an eye out for those things. Alright, just wanted to check in and show you where we are so far. As you can see, the carpet's all out. The monitors are in place, power strips are out, and all of the cabling is run. This took about an hour. A lot of the cables, just about all of the cables, are underneath the carpets, which is what we want. Once the band gets here, there'll be some more carpets that are strewn about the floor. And then if you look back here, here's where all the mess is. Zoom in there for you. And I'm not able to do a manual focus right now, I'm not sure why. So let me put that there. It's about, there we go. So all of my cabling is in back there. We'll go back there and take a look. And my DIs are right here. The one in the back over here is going to be for the keyboard. Again, I don't know why they have 2 DIs just for that, but they do. So we have it set up for that until they decide to change it. And this here is going to be split between Gretchen and the keyboard player. I'm not sure why they needed, or I didn't have rather 2 more DIs after that. I only have 2 DIs period. So taking a look here at our snake. Alright, so in the, let me focus again. It's about as good as it's gonna get. Okay, so in the back we have the monitors, and they have one of these guys on them, tip ring sleeve, and it's the male, or female rather, of the XLR, but it's a male end here, of course, that would plug in, and this reverses the signal for the XLR, then it plugs in here to the back. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to name these channels. And so we'll just give some dashes for channel 1 as it's dead. Channel 2, Gretchen vocal. Channel 3, accordion vocal. Channel 4, keys vocal. And we're going to go like that, just clicking on the channel and then naming it throughout the whole channel list. And then what will happen is on here, on each of their iPads down below, you can see it immediately updates with that information.